What's the good word, y'all? It's your boy DKB here. So, wanted to kind of dive into the details about Aaron Rodgers, this new innovative surgery that he underwent Wednesday, and then just kind of my thoughts at large about the entire situation with him rushing himself back in hopes of the Jets making the playoffs and him potentially being able to actually make an appearance, which I thought wasn't even a realistic possibility prior to hearing some of this new information. So, let's go ahead and dive into it. He had the surgery Wednesday. Dr. Neil Elathrock, maybe Atrachi, who knows what exactly it is. But he's famous for performing huge surgeries on plenty of other athletes, Kobe Bryant, etc. So definitely in great hands here with Aaron Rodgers. Now, what they did was they placed an internal brace on the Achilles that they're quoting or coining as a speed bridge, right? Basically, this is an added suture, which is a bridge brace over the top of the repair site that stabilizes the area, and it's supposed to provide additional support. So, I guess in my mind, kind of envision it maybe as like an air cast almost, if you will. Some of the things that I've heard about why this new potential procedure makes this so successful is that it's designed to have an athlete fully recovered within the span of about 4 months, which is why we expect, or we have the hopes now, that Aaron Rodgers could potentially return for us around January. But it's supposed to enhance the strength of the repair that was actually done, and it also guards the Achilles against stretching further. So a lot of what you're probably going to see when it comes to complications with these athletes is that while they're going through rehabilitation, stretching, trying to rebuild that endurance and improve the strength of that particular section, the joints, muscles, etc. around it, you're an athlete, you're kind of accustomed to trying to break the limits, right? So most oftentimes, I'd imagine you're going to go too hard, you're going to put that area, the Achilles, under too much stress, and you're going to end up prolonging things for yourself, right? You're not generally going to look to gradually build up to things per se. And so, I kind of get the whole purpose around this, right? Now, I don't know what the time span of this being new is. It's been over a year with Kobe, and they said that he had it, and then there's been a list of new names since. So let's just say a safe bet, a 2-year span, probably some solid athletes within that pool of guys being performed by this surgeon, and of course having this exact surgery. And so there are some recent examples to look at that actually can indicate what this may look like. And this actually gave me a pretty good amount of hope that maybe we can actually see Aaron Rodgers and we're not seeing like a shell of himself when he comes back. One player who got this recently, running back Cam Akers, we've seen him come back in about 5.5 months. And you have to imagine, the running back position, we know how tough it is. We're seeing our own guy, Breece Hall, looked phenomenal week 1, but he's still got to work himself back into shape and all of these things. Don't know if James Robinson had the surgery, but like he would be another example of somebody that's struggling to come back. But 5.5 months for a running back that has to do cutting, breaking, agility, also worrying about a guy trying to hit him, keeping that elusiveness or the tackle breaking ability. That's a lot to ask for somebody, especially a guy like Cam Akers, who has come back and earned himself a starting role. So great news there for me. And then, as mentioned, the other guy would be the guard, Joe Noteboom. Same kind of situation to me, right? You have a player that's working in a phone booth, man to his left, man to his right, 1 to 2 potential guys in front of him. You have to worry about stunts, blitzes, not as much necessary lateral movement and stuff like that, depending on the scheme. But still, it's quite a bit of duress that you're going to be under in a position like that. So with Aaron Rodgers, ideally he's not going to be doing a lot of those same things, right? You'll probably see a lot less of him rolling out and doing different things of that nature if he was able to come back that soon. But for him remaining a pure pocket passer, that wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing in the world for the New York Jets. So, I'm taking a look at this whole situation, and it's still kind of in the world of theory for me rather than this being a specific reality. But hearing Aaron Rodgers' comments on the Pat McAfee show, he's kind of in Mekhi Becton mode right now. He's quoting people saying, I shouldn't say quoting, but he's telling people, give him his doubts, give him all the expectations that's being placed on him about what he can or can't do, and he plans on coming out here and proving people wrong. So I think him doing this surgery is a huge statement in and of itself for two key things. One, for anybody that was doubting Aaron Rodgers and his commitment and what he was willing to give to this franchise, that he completely shattered all expectations for me. This is a surgery that's not 100% guaranteed that he'll come back any quicker than a standard surgery per se, and it's actually a little bit more of an increased risk because if anything does go wrong, there will be an additional surgery that's required later, which could prolong things on the back end or affect his post-NFL career. So seeing him rush back, absolutely phenomenal with everything he's already done for us between the offseason, giving up a huge chunk of money. The list goes on. The second piece of that picture would be it's a huge statement of the faith that he has in Zach Wilson after Robert Saleh committed this season to Zach Wilson. We still want to kind of get a veteran in the building here. And we have Tim Boyle, but I imagine somebody that, you feel comfortable taking the reins if Zach Wilson goes down, knock on wood. So I hope that the stars align for us, right? We might not have gotten Aaron Rodgers for the entire season like we like. This does also set up a very interesting dilemma. And let's say, doesn't matter if we cleanly get into the playoffs or if we just barely squeak in week 18. Would they seriously consider maybe not risking Aaron Rodgers, and especially if he wants to play another year, rolling through the playoffs with Zach Wilson? I don't think that's a conversation a lot of us have necessarily prepared ourselves for. We'll kick that down the road because obviously we have a lot of games to play before that becomes a necessary conversation. But let me know what you guys think. Did Aaron Rodgers make the right decision deciding to go with this particular surgery? Would you guys have liked him to just pack it in and got ready for the 2024 season? Or does this give you some kind of hope that if we can actually make it to the playoffs, you're getting a Hall of Fame quarterback back in there, and hopefully he picks up. I don't want to say where he left off, but hopefully he picks up where our expectations were set, and we see him, lead us to the promised land. So let me hear your thoughts, what you guys are chipping in, hot takes, etc., and I'll catch you guys again. Peace.